Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. I'm going to ask y'all a question, okay? And I want y'all to be completely honest. Does anyone actually care about Gwen Rizchek's sob backstory? Does anyone care about her sob backstory? Because I'm going to be completely honest, okay? I am so sick and tired of her using that woe is me, I grew up poor, that woman rejected my mother and sent her away and I never had love from Jack and everything grew up poor and bad and ugly and doom and gloom. No one fucking cares, lady. You got everything that you want and you still act like the most bitterest woman that I've seen so far, right? EJ, as much as I like EJ is, one can argue that he's the definition of morally bankrupt, okay? So, when EJ sent there telling her that, listen, you work in the press or at some point, right? So, you know that there's always at least two sides to a story. And the thing is, she has heard Jack's side of the story. And Jennifer and everyone else have told her their side of the story. And yes, they feel bad that she grew up the way that she did. Okay? But when Thomas comes in, Thomas asks, listen, why are you wearing Grandma Julie's necklace? And why haven't you gotten it back? She stood there like, what is this guy, like 9 or 10? He asked you a basic question. Whoa, the thing is that it seems like it's, kind of a misunderstanding. You had to have EJ and Chad sit there and jump in to sit there and answer this kid's question because, let's be honest, you really didn't have a good one. You practically was like, well, they treated me like garbage when I first came in and this, that, and the third. So, I'm going to sit there and keep it. I'm not going to give it back to them. Okay, cool. So you're acting like a 12-year-old. Got it. If you would just have said that, this episode would have been much more faster. But yeah, she's moving in. She's moving into Mara's place. And EJ's not really even going to fight her on this. Because, what's the point, right? At one point he wants to sit there and fight Kristen on it. But Kristen, that house is Stefano's. Kristen is his daughter. Was his daughter. So you're not really going to win that fight. You're not going to win that fight. But with Gwen, you really don't have a claim to that house. Kristen will probably intervene because, let's be honest, she definitely needs some friends. She don't really have any. And that's the sad part is that she doesn't have any friends. And Rachel really doesn't have any friends. She has like one friend, but when it came towards a birthday party, going to the rich girl's house, they didn't want to do because of Kristen. That's saying a lot. Anyway, Chad's just like, listen, I want you out of Salem. I don't care for how long. I don't want you intervening with my family. And she's all like, well, as the kid said, I am his aunt. Sis, you heard damn well what he said. Do not make him raise his voice. Kat and EJ meet. Kat and Rafe meet up. After Chad was a bit standoffish when Kat ran at both of Chad and Thomas. Thomas wanted her to play baseball and stuff or catch or something. He was just being pretty standoffish because he saw a text that said James Smith. You do realize that she does work for Marlena, right? She could be having clients and stuff like that call her to try to get in contact with Marlena or set up appointments and stuff. But, okay, Chad, whatever. We're going to sit there and keep doing this back and forth BS until, most of us get sick of it. And I know at some point Jennifer's going to come back and she's going to be all whiny and complaining and everything. I can't believe you're spending time with her. And the thing that really annoys me about Jennifer, I know this is going off tangent. I'm going to get back to it in a second. Because, I just can't wait to sit there and talk about Stephanie and Alex. I just live for those scenes. But the thing about Jennifer and her constant getting in Kat's face, and the reason why it's so annoying is because she acts as though Kat did this on purpose. Like, she set out to be malice and cruel and to play some sort of practical joke on her or something. Does she not? It's like she doesn't care about the circumstances of why Kat did what she did. She's not trying to place herself in Kat's situation of, well, if I don't do this, my mother and my family is going to die. She's not doing that. She's just whining and she's complaining, and it's just so fucking irritating. I just had to voice that out. Anyway, those obnoxious too. I have something positive to say about Stephanie, but it's not PG-13, so I'm not gonna say that. Anyway, they have their scene. But Stephanie seems to be talking about working for EJ because her business is, not really picking up steam or anything. Kayla comes in. Alex leaves to go take a cold shower. Wish I had a laugh track. But she tells her that, hey, listen, I'm probably going to be working for EJ, but I'll be working for you. I'll be, working for the hospital and stuff like that. Kayla's like, no, you need to leave. Because EJ's going to compromise you. EJ's only going to sit there and want you to show him in a positive light, the hospital in a positive light. But she also did sit there and say that the hospital does need some positive PR because, they didn't really get it from the hospital failing and stuff like that. And people being like, should I even go to the hospital? They're going to have the right equipment. Are you going to sit there and sign me up for the most expensive surgery? Because, what I'm saying? Like, these are the type of things that people would sit there and think of. I don't even know if they really answered it or if Stephanie is even going to be working for EJ, but maybe, I guess. I kind of don't really care, but we got to get Stephanie in some scenes, so sure. Xander is having a hell of a hard time trying to quiet Victoria. One of the things that Alex said was, listen, I'm kind of glad to be out the office because, listen, she's a sweet baby, but she is crying nonstop. She's crying nonstop because, let's be honest, she misses her mom. Gabby, after talking to Rafe, leaves and goes to the office and sees the situation as like, you need help, let me step in. Let me sit there and provide a woman's touch in a sense. And at first he tries to fight her on it, but he's like, listen, if it quiets her and I can get some work done, cool. And that's exactly what she does. And he thanks her. And they seem like they have a genuine good conversation. Xander talks about how he misses Sarah. And you know where this is going to go. This is so goddamn stupid. You miss a woman that the minute that the mask comes off again and you start acting like Xander, she sits there and starts telling you, no, you can't do this. It's the same. I don't understand how some of the fans actually have put up with that over the years. And I guess the people that actually do like Sarah and Xander together, y'all must like some pretty damn toxic relationships. Because that is the only reason why I can think of why people actually... Because I've seen it. When I first started watching the show and doing reviews and stuff like that, people were like, oh my god, I love them, they're so cute together. But he's always not there disappointing her and she's always upset. But they're so cute together. Then I have to sit there and think that most people... kind of think with their emotions, but I just, again, I look at them like, bro, why would you even want to go back to her? We can think of 1,000 reasons why Sarah shouldn't go back to Xander, but, why would you want to go back to that? Because the minute you do something she doesn't like, she wants to sit there and leave, and this time she wants to take the baby with her because she thinks that whatever you're doing is bad, and it's cruel, and it's a bad example for the baby, and I'm the mother, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So when you said that, was like, bro, you gotta be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. I'm also glad that I'm doing this early in the day because I do not like rushing videos. I really hate it. Also, okay, so after Rafe gives, I'm assuming Kat the Cliff Notes version of why he is so personally invested into the investigation with EJ, they're trying to figure out where's he getting this money from because he's rich, but he ain't that rich enough to sit there and buy a hospital. What are his motives for buying the failing hospital, and who is the silent partner because he did not get this money by himself? And also, you know, Kat is worried about Chad, and, you know, listen, Rafe is like, Chad is too good to marry him, you know? If you gotta sit there and do justice, he's not gonna stand in your way. He's you know, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Anyway, more or less, oh, and she also talks about how she's invested because of the hospital, saved her sister's life, and da 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 da. So, you know, they both have a personal stake in what they're doing, and, you know, she's kind of worried, you know, being out in the field. You know, it makes me think of Jack Ryan. You know, Jack Ryan was not exactly the physical type when it came towards his missions. He was more of, well, the analyst. So maybe they're trying to do like a female version of Jack Ryan. I don't know. Okay, now I feel like that's about it. That is... Wow, only one page, okay. Oh, and you know, Stephanie is mortified that her mother read her raunchy book, but she also liked it, so there's a smile in there somewhere. If you actually cared about that. Their scenes is just so damn difficult to get through. You know, the moaning, the heavy breathing. I'm like, you know, I have a whole library of that if that's what I want to sit there and watch. I'm just saying. Okay, now I think that's actually about it. And it is quite the impressive library. Okay, now with that being said, I'm gonna go. I do want to thank everyone for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. If I missed anything, let me know below. Come to the live stream tonight. I'll be sitting there to talk about all the shows. You know what they are. Also, share the video. I want to sit there and get some more Days of Our Lives fans into these streams, and, you know, not just to increase the numbers, but, like, you know, I would like to sit there and talk more about Days of Our Lives, too. So I'm grateful for the people that do come in and want to talk about Days of Our Lives, because we all know GH is oddly the number one soap, but it's not the number one soap in the ratings. It's like Y&R usually always, like, tramples on them, which is like, wow. But you get some more Days of Our Lives fans in the streams and stuff like that. Also in the member streams, because I do reaction videos towards old classic clips of Days of Our Lives. So I'd love some people to come in there and kind of tell me what I need to know. You know, a lot of times I'm watching this stuff out of context, so, you know, that would definitely help out. So if you're not a member, make sure you join. Click on any one of my other videos, because it doesn't come up in this one, to join. And it'll be in the description box below.